up guys? So you know the drill today, right? Cool, let's get right into it. So, Peach/Daisy. This character is a monster up close. Really good at showgame, good combos, good frame data, and the the floating is really good for with punishing stuff. However, this character is kind of slow and lacks range. Combined with her being floaty, meaning her jump-ins aren't that great aggressively, even with the float sometimes. It's you can kind of see it coming. She has a lot of trouble opening up rear defensive players and chasing people who just run away. Even the slower characters can do this, but characters that have really big hitboxes and projectiles can really just play lane versus her and make her have to approach and overcommit. Honestly, almost time her out. So don't be afraid to just play the slow game versus her. Make her come to you. If she's not coming to you, if she's just doing turnips, whatever, this is fine. She doesn't chase people up to turnip throw that well because she is pretty slow. And if you get the turnip of hers, you can use that against her to make life even harder for her. So abuse that. Abuse her only range tool being very linear. Abuse the fact that as a result, she doesn't have a great approach game. And just, honestly, you have to time her out. I've done that for these before for Peaches and Daisies. Sometimes you gotta do it. So, when it comes to fighting Bowser, it's honestly as simple as you just have to edge guard him. Period. You're not beating this character unless you edge guard him or get big combos and juggles on him. But playing a neutral over and over versus this character is hard. He hits too hard, he's too fast, big hitboxes. He has all this stuff that says, if you play neutral versus him, you're eventually gonna lose. So, his recovery though is very exploitable, right? He's very easy to 2-frame if you know your character's 2-frame timings. His recovery is actually pretty decent, but you can go out and just hit him a lot of times if he's sent farther back. He's at a low angle, so it's really important to set up Bowser at lower angles like that if possible. It's really good to put Bowser in positions where you can hit him off stage and immediately chase him before he really has time to mix up his recovery. And it's really important to set up these 2 frames. Because otherwise you're gonna you're just gonna lose the Bowser. You're gonna play neutral too often, and that's gonna be a wrap. And also when you're edge guarding, a really good trick for that as well is putting yourself in this position, right? Where you're kind of hovering below the ledge. You can actually use ledge hold a lot for this as well. And you just react to the up B by being here and going okay, I hit you now. Or I hit you. And if you're going high, okay, I can hit you like this. Because most characters should be able to do this pretty easily. You get to do this instead. So exploit that, don't be afraid to just be here and edge guarding him. Because he really lacks great options versus that if you time it right. For this character, the main thing to keep in mind is that this character doesn't have an approach tool outside of side B. So you're gonna see, and obviously generic ultimate movement, but this character is very slow. They can't follow up on their projectile that well. If they do desync stuff, they can kind of do some stuff. Same with Blizzard, but for the most part, they don't have a great approach, right? Except this move. This move is a really good move. Multi-hit, they can mash it to go high with it, to go farther with it, so they can mess up their timings a little bit. Oh, they can also set things like that up, which is cool. But it also doesn't have a hitbox on the top of it very low. What it does is not that big, so you can challenge Ices from above pretty well with this move. Or if they do it higher in there, you can go below them. But challenging this from the side is generally a mistake. So really keep in mind that you want to use jumps and aerials to counter this, or you just have to straight up block it. However, they can trip back with it and make this very hard to punish on block. So that's more of a you messed up punish than the move. But really, if you shut out this move from Ice Climber players, they're gonna struggle to really find any good openings. So 2 pieces of advice for this character. First piece of advice. Make sure you're preemptively DIing this character's combos. And I'm not going to show it from myself in training mode, but because this character's attacks are very quick, if you try to DI the attacks on reaction, if I'm doing this this, and you're trying to DI on reaction and getting hit by forward air, you're basically never going to do that. So you have to a lot of times preempt you're going to get hit and be ready to DI everything, which for the most part is just going to be either down and away or up and away, nothing crazy. There might be some times you want to DI in to avoid potentially getting killed by bouncing fish setups. But your life becomes a lot harder if you're already holding back in all situations to minimize the amount of damage output she gets. And the other piece of advice versus this character is that you have to accept she's going to beat you neutral. It doesn't matter what character you are. Honestly, you're losing neutral with almost every character. However, because her damage output isn't that great, your DI is on point, she has to be neutral a lot, right? So when you play her, if you go into the mindset of looking for reads, looking for when she gets predictable with forward airs in particular, looking for when she gets predictable with dash-ins and jump aerials because she has to like do this, like dash in your face and do something a lot, or she has to jump in like this, which is a lot easier to react to and deal with. You accept her lack of range really forces her to approach in certain ways and take guesses at certain situations. You can try and fight her and outguess her. Like if I fight a Sheik player, I want to outguess her when she dashes in a lot, like and goes here. Because I know, even if I guess wrong most of the time, just a couple right guesses will end her stock if I play it right. And if I'm saying, oh, what about needles and bouncing fish? Bouncing fish is like super punishable, but whiffs, that's really scary for her to use. And needles are a nice poke move, but they don't really do that much. They're really annoying. If she gets spammy with them, they can pressure her a little bit for doing it. But honestly, a lot of times you can just shield it and like move around it because at this range, it's like she doesn't have any other options besides this and like moving closer if she wants to hit you. Zelda. I think I mentioned in my how to improve with every character video that her Phantom, one thing to keep in mind about the character is that the longer you charge Phantom, the more end leg it has, right? So when you fight her, it's key to recognize the longer she charges it, the more lag she has, meaning that's more time for you to go in. But also when she charges this move, she's committed to it, right? If you see her charge this move in a spot you can approach her at, it is time to move in. Like if I'm here with Zelda and I start charging Phantom, just immediately jump at her. Because if you're Bowser and you immediately jump as I start charging Phantom here, unless I do like this to catch you jumping a little bit, like this to catch you jumping a little bit late, I can't cover the jump anymore. Like at this range, you get the jump at me for free, and either I get hit by it or I let go of Phantom quick enough, I shield it, maybe, and you still got to pressure my shield. But honestly, that shouldn't happen. And also, even if you can't punish me, if I charge Phantom and like you jump like at the time where like my Phantom's being let go, so Phantom like kind of goes past you, you're in my face, that stinks for Zelda. Because her mobility stinks, because they're like, she has decent ass shield options, but they can be very risky to go for. And because she like has to use a lot of committal buttons basically to get you away, you know that when you're your Zelda, she has to commit to something punishable for the most part. It's like her least like punishable things are like this or this. It's like maybe like this or this. And they're all grounded moves with not the best hitboxes. So really, that's your chance to fight her. And she can't set up Phantom when you're near her, right? So when you get on top of her, you really want to stay like on top of her zone. Because as long as she can't like start doing this, she is a character that's so scary to fight, but she's a character with extremely punchable options. And Zelda players are not trying to fight up close as much because they know it's kind of the opposite of the Sheik matchup, right? Where in Sheik matchup I talked about how like she's going neutral a lot with low damage, you want to just outguess her and win. In the Zelda matchup, the character's high damage, but you should be able to outguess her more often than not. Unless playing on Wi-Fi versus auto spam, you should be in bad connection. Because good luck punishing that. But you should be able to like outguess her and punish her enough. Just win those exchanges naturally. And with that guys, that is the video, you know, hope it helps you out like always, and I'll catch you for the next one.